Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
How are you doing?
We're back.
Hope you are proud. Proud.
We're proud.
We're proud.
We're
Hope you're
proud
happy.
mothers.
No, really. Hope you're proud of us.
And that's it. That's the whole
all.
podcast
The
today.
end. See y'all later.
Hope you're proud.
I was gonna say, I hope you are happy to see our faces.
Yes, and hear our voices. Whatever
Right.
you're doing, if you're watching, if you're listening, you know. We actually just surpassed 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Yes,
Yeah.
after almost 3 years.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. And also, can we just talk about how we're honestly pretty close to 1,000 followers on TikTok?
Yeah.
I think that's
We're growing
fucking
every
cool.
day.
Literally every single
day.
day. We have new followers there every day and just like building a community like we always wanted.
Yeah. It's so cool. I'm literally always checking. I was literally right before we started recording, I'm like looking at our analytics. I'm like looking at the thing go up. I'm like,
Yeah. Literally.
go eyes.
It's so nice. Honestly, it's so nice to see. And honestly, speaking of community, I love that you guys vibed so much with the last episode that we have.
Yeah.
We had.
Yeah, honestly, like, I feel like more people are, like, not being afraid to be like, okay, this happened to me, or, like, this is so relatable. Like, it always happens, but I think this one specifically, like, talking about co-parenting and how little it's honestly talked about, like, on the internet or even anywhere, like, socially acceptable. Like, you know, like, I was telling my friend, I was like, that's the first time me and my baby dad have ever had these discussions ever. Like, we've never sat down and figured things out. We kind of just, like, this is what it is, and set boundaries and stuff along the way. And that was the first time we've ever had a discussion about parenting together.
And I know that took, like, hella strength, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, y'all saw me cry.
Right.
And we didn't tell you everything, because there's a lot of stuff that was in between everything. But I think we did a really good job.
You guys did. I'm proud. And I just love to see it, honestly.
I'm Janni.
And I'm Rach.
And this is
A Young Love Podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. Widow's recording us.
I know.
Over there.
That's why like, they're like, what is she pointing at? Woody's here.
Woody's always here.
Oh, I also have an Olipop.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
we
gonna
gotta
say,
crack these
Olipop
open.
commercial.
Okay.
I can pop mine in and cheers.
Now you can
Right,
come in and
yeah,
do yours when we
come
do.
in.
We have Olipop today. Got us classic root beer. And Widow has, what is it?
I have
Grape. Yeah.
Yummy.
We're trying to get a sponsorship.
I think we can do it.
I was looking at their page. I think we can get, like, a partnership.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
For
Bro,
sure.
Mom's loving this shit. Come on.
Like,
literally. They're
Plus,
healthy for you. Like, what?
we just fucked up some pizza. So we were like, we need this. Like, 2 boxes and chicken and bread bites, all of that. I'm
Yeah.
like, I need this.
And I think this is really a great soda substitute, if we're being so honest, because, like, I like soda, and
Me
I like
too.
root beer, I
Me
like my
too.
Dr. Pepper,
Bro,
I like all of
I
it.
dig these.
Right. No,
They're
yeah,
so good.
bro. When I first discovered the root beer one, I was like, "Oh, this is
Yeah.
mine. This is my new
Yeah.
go-to." Yeah, they're so fucking good.
Okay, well, hope they see that.
All right,
This is not sponsored yet.
We're just saying all the good things. Oh,
You should have done it closer to the mic.
I'm sorry.
I know it's
I wanted
okay.
it to be on the camera more than anything.
We'll zoom up on you doing that. We'll just get your fingers. Shh.
Okay.
All right,
Let's open ours.
ready?
I'll let you go first.
Ooh, crispy.
So crispy.
We should all cheers.
Yeah, get in here.
Cheers!
Woo!
Woo! That's so good.
It's so good.
Like, what's-
Olipop ad?
I
You
feel-
ever like
it's
drink
like-
something so good you have to look at the ingredients?
Yeah, no, literally, I'm like,
I'm
what's
like,
in
what?
there?
What's in this bitch? And it's all the good shit. Love that.
Ugh. We're like trying a new thing where we don't drink alcohol in the episodes. I think Rachel really is what started it, but honestly, I don't really drink either.
Yeah.
And then I feel like shit the next day, and I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? Let's like try something else that's like good for you.
Right. No, literally, I went through this thing a couple weeks ago where I had somehow, some way gotten drunk like 5 times in 1 week, and I didn't even realize that I never do that. Like, alcohol has never been like a problem for me. Like, it kind of just happened because there was like a lot of events that week. I think it was like the Super Bowl, and then your birthday happened, and then we had like Widow's birthday party that week, and then something else. I was like, wait a minute, I've been drinking literally all week, and I feel like absolute shit.
Yeah.
And before that, I would drink occasionally. Like, I would drink like maybe like every weekend or every other weekend, or like whenever I would go out to like dinner, get a drink, or like, and then I'd be like, oh wait, I'm lit.
Yeah.
But it was after that week of drinking that I was like, I'm gonna take a really big break, and next thing I know, it's been 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how fast 4 weeks goes by until you're actually like trying to count on something, because then you're like, oh, it's been 4 weeks. That's crazy. So it's been like basically a month since I stopped drinking any alcohol, and honestly, I feel pretty good, because now, like, when I think of drinking alcohol, I dread the morning after feeling. And yeah, I might have a drink, you know, just because, like, I'm not against alcohol, but like getting drunk now scares me.
Mm-hmm. And then after effects are crazy. They're just not worth it. I just feel like they're not worth it either.
It's not, and it's crazy because like now I'm like, I guess I'm like, you know, I'll be 27 this year. Like 10 years ago when I first started drinking, like I was trying to get fucked up every weekend.
Right.
Like
no, literally.
every weekend I was
drinking that nasty shit.
What was it?
Everclear.
Apple E&J, Everclear. What else?
Mad Dogs. I don't know if you had Mad Dogs. I didn't.
didn't.
It's just super dyed.
Four Locos.
Yeah.
Four Locos.
Bombay was what just really did me in.
You had money, bitch.
No, that
Right.
no, my friend had money because I didn't even know that it was expensive alcohol for real, because I've been dodging it ever since that day.
Oh, yeah.
It was my first shot of alcohol, and knowing it's expensive now, I kind of feel bad because I broke that bottle in the desert. Like, because we were like, we don't want it anymore, and they made me take that whole shot with no chaser, and they were like, take a mouthful, and I'm over there like bubbles in the cheeks, like.
That's crazy.
So, I never drank it again. Actually.
Yeah, I think the one drink I had that similar experience with was Grey Goose. I took multiple shots during my senior week, and I blacked the fuck out, and I never drank it again.
I don't like shots.
Me neither.
It's fucking nasty.
I'm just like, it's so weird how you like get older and you realize, wait a minute, I don't really like that anymore.
It's actually disgusting.
Yeah.
I like being tipsy. Don't get me wrong.
Like
I like
wavy,
a tipsy. Like a little, you mean?
Yeah, like maybe that, like I'm good with like 2 to 3 drinks if I'm
Yeah.
being so honest. 'Cause I'm such a lightweight.
Me too.
It doesn't take me a lot to get drunk at all.
Me either.
So like getting to the point of like blackout now, I'm like, nah, I'm so good off that.
Yeah.
Because like, don't get me wrong, I know like summer's coming up. We probably got plans in the making, things to do. We're gonna be outside. Like
Moderation. We can do moderation.
Moderation's fine. Yeah. I'm probably gonna wait until then.
Yeah.
If I'm being so honest, because I have nothing. Like, why would I? There's nothing else I have to drink for right now.
Right. Exactly. But in other news, Rachel's in Ulta.
Oh. I was like, I'm waiting for you. I'm like, what is it?
What happened?
What happened? I'm in Ulta, and I'm gonna cry.
It's okay.
Oh my god, no, yeah, it's crazy. Like, I don't even know like how. I mean, I know how I got here, but like just the feeling of it's very surreal. Because like this took me like 5 years to get to this point, and it's crazy. And there's so much more that I want to do with myself.
Yeah.
So just knowing that like stuff like that is like huge, but also like only the beginning.
Yeah.
To like the rest of my life is
like
insane.
A stepping stone.
Literally, something that I literally used to have dreams of. Something that I would write down in my journal years ago. Something that I would literally speak into existence. Like, and I did.
Yeah.
So,
but you also worked really hard for it.
I did, bro. I don't think some people might not understand how much work really goes into modeling. Like, it can be a lot. Like, it really can be. Like, not only like the drive, I guess, but also making sure that you stay mentally prepared for the negativity from the outside world, you know, like, because you'll get people like coming at you from the outside saying that like you can't be doing this or you shouldn't be doing this. You'll get stuff you'll hear stuff from like agents or agencies about you or your body, or it's really a cutthroat industry, and some people are just haters, and you really have to stay mentally strong and tough for that. And so I've really had my ins and outs with stuff over the years, like making sure that I don't let anything like push me down. And it's been hard because I used to not be a mentally strong person when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like when people would talk bad about me, or like I'd hear stuff from people, oh my god, I'd be on the floor.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't do that before, but I think it really made me strong and really made me be able to like speak up for myself. So it's like moments like this where I'm like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking did that.
Bitch, you're at the front of the store. Bro, me and Widow walked in, and like before we even walked in, I was like, "Oh my god, it's Rachel!" We recorded the whole thing, by the way. We vlogged it.
We were like sitting on the floor, like taking pictures with your thing, and like there's people like walking in and out. Like it was like a high traffic moment in there, and we're like We're just like
we're at the front, just like
smiling at your picture, like not looking at anything but your picture, just like
no, literally. I'm like, do I get on the ground? I'm on the ground. People are walking by. I was like, I know I look crazy, but that's my friend. I'm literally yelling across. I'm like, the guy's like, that's your friend. I was like, yeah, that's my friend. I was like, I know her. I was like, she lives around here. Like, she grew up around here. I literally start getting emotional because I was like, bro, like, your face is, first of all, at the front of the store, outside the store, inside the store, at the fucking cash register, in a place where, like, you grew up as a kid where, like, you know, these ideas of, like, you're saying of, like, things that you wanted for yourself, like, you're doing that in your hometown, and not just in your hometown, like,
bro, it's
everywhere. It's everywhere. It's in New Jersey, bro. Like, it's the girl on our friend on Instagram, or on TikTok. She put the video up.
Yes, I was like, that's so cute. I'm like, hello, a whole video for me. Right. That's so nice. I'm sorry if I burped in your face. That shit was bad.
Hello?
I don't mean to blow it towards you, but I'm trying to get out my face. But yeah, it's really an insane, surreal feeling. And I don't know, even, I forgot to tell you, Molly texted me, and it was her godmother who sent a picture of me in the store to Molly and was like, is this your friend? And I was like, your godmother? Like, what? Like, that's so crazy. It's just like everybody like just sees me now. And also it makes me realize how many people actually like know of me.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird and it's really cool.
Bro, you have status. For real.
Like,
that's what I be saying. Like, literally the one day I'm scrolling on TikTok, just going through like I normally do, and a Revlon thing, like, ad comes up, and I'm like, hello?
Is it L'Oreal, you mean?
Oh, is it L'Oreal? Mm-hmm. I thought it was Revlon.
No, you're fine. It's the same thing.
But I'm like scrolling, and I'm like, wait, that's Rachel. And like, she didn't even know it was out. You didn't know it was out.
Mm-mm. Mind you, these are things, so the L'Oreal thing was shot back in June of last year, and that just came out, what was that, last month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so loud.
And then the Ulta one we shot beginning of December of last year. So it took like 3 or 4 months to come out. So yeah, like, it's crazy what goes on behind the scenes and like what like is being made before you even see it with your own eyes on social media, because I've had some stuff I did, like, it would be, like the Depends package. I'm on Depends, by the way. If you ever need some Depends, I'm on the package too.
Literally, I was
just so crazy.
Bro, I was in the Ulta store saying the same thing. I was like, if you go to the store, go to CVS, don't look at Depends, you'll see the same girl.
Go to Target, go to Walmart, and I'm there too. So yeah, it was with the Depends. I shot that in like March of 2023, and I didn't see it out in stores until March of 2024. It took a whole year to come out.
That's so crazy. And you're on the packaging for a while, right?
The contract was for a couple years.
It's probably because they had to like run out of everything that they had before. And they could, like, out the new product.
Yeah, that, and also they do like the brand like refreshes their packaging a lot too. So they always like want to include new faces, new body types, and I think the package that I'm on specifically, it was like an updated package. So it was like new packaging. You know how like some products you get and it says new look or whatever. That's kind of what it was. I saw that.
Too. It was like the bougier one, like the one that looks like more fancy, like underwear.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah, because it's for the girls.
Yeah,
it's because like I wore Depends postpartum. I don't know if you did either.
I think I did,
because I had the postpartum underwear. You like the shorts. I didn't like those as much. I just liked the diaper. If I'm being so honest,
it's like, so much easier.
The shorts were like, okay, it's just like mesh shorts, but then you have to put like the pad and then like everything else.
And they would roll up.
They would roll up and just be uncomfortable. The Depends, I'm just like, all right, they're just like slipping on. Just like granny panties. And I was just like, all right.
Yeah.
And so I was in those for like, what's that? 2-ish months, I think, after I had Callie.
The 6 weeks.
Yeah,
it was around 6 weeks-ish.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And I remember when I had shot for Depends, they had asked me, they were like, because I guess I was one of the younger models on set. They were like, so you ever like wear these? I was like, yeah, actually. And they were like, really? And I was like, yeah, I had a baby a couple years ago. So yeah, I wore these. They're like, wait, that's so nice. And they're like, they didn't actually realize that I was a customer.
Yeah.
So I literally was buying those for like months. Yeah. So yeah, it's just really cool to see everything, honestly. Like, all my hard work pays off, and sometimes it can feel like I'm like in a bit of like in between spaces. Like, modeling is very like it's very much up and down. But I feel like as long as you just keep your head high and speak on what you speak on and represent yourself, and like don't worry about anybody else, like that's really the biggest thing about it. Just be yourself. Honestly, that's literally what everybody wants to see from you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You were also on bio oil, right? That's another mommy. If you're obviously y'all are moms.
Yeah, literally. I actually got casted for that job because of my stretch marks.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So, they did the casting, and my mother agent had actually told the client, Bio Oil, that I had stretch marks present. Like, at the time, I was like 9 months postpartum. Then my stretch marks were like purple still. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you had those too.
I have them on my side and in between my legs.
Yeah, so mine had faded ever since. Now mine are like clear, but I had like very dark purple stretch marks going like all the way up. Like they almost look like a tree, like the tree of life. Yeah. And I used bio oil for a long time, and it helped a lot. And so Connie had told the client that I had stretch marks present, and they were like, can she send pictures of them? So I went in the bathroom and I'm literally taking pictures of my stretch marks. It's something that I'm very insecure about. Mm-hmm. And I got the job. So they had me on set, pull my underwear down a little bit. They were like, okay, it's like, we want to see your stretch marks. And they had me applying the oil on them. And I'm like, one day I'm doing this in my bathroom postpartum. Now I'm on a studio set with 20 people looking at me. Why am I going to cry?
Like, I'm about to cry for you.
It's such a, like, when I tell you surreal is not even the word sometimes, because like I dreamt of stuff like this, and then it's like things would happen to me, like getting pregnant and having a baby, stuff that would make me feel like I couldn't do what I wanted to do. But then I still ended up doing it for stuff because
you were meant to do it.
Literally,
it's that you wanted to. It's that you were meant to.
Exactly. It's like it didn't even stop me. Mm-hmm. Like it like I thought it would, but it didn't, because it's my purpose. It's literally what's inside of me, and I have to do it.
Yeah.
And you're gonna make me cry.
I'm over here tearing up too. I'm like.
Like I think all in all, like I truly, like I always just wanted to be an inspiration to other women who look like me, and represent for other women who look like me, because it can be hard being our size sometimes in this world, especially like in today's society. We are so hated on, like plus size girls and curvy girls. We get so much hate all the time, especially with the whole Ozempic trend nowadays. I just wish that everybody would just accept that, like, their body is their body, whether you're skinny or you're a size 16 or you're even bigger than that. Fuck it, like, whatever. It's your body. Like, why do we have to talk about each other's bodies? Like, you know, I just want to be the representation that for other women that look like me, and that's really it. Like, it just irks me how social media can be so hateful sometimes when it comes to body positivity now. And also, especially over the past year, other curve models will know, because you guys know it's been a hard year for us. And I just, you know, we just didn't stop, though. Like, I think that's the biggest thing. It was hard, but like it didn't tear us down. Mm-hmm. You know, I kept going. Like, I kept pushing for myself and for my brand as a model, for my brand as a curve creator and a mother. Like, I kept pushing for that. Even though I was getting turned down, even though I was getting less than half the work that I usually do. It was hard, and it's still hard sometimes, because this just like the trends take over, and like it's just a lot. And other curvy girls will know it's hard, but I think, like I said, we just have to keep speaking up for ourselves, because that's really all we can do. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry if I like didn't make sense sometimes.
You made sense the entire time. I'm trying not to be over here like sobbing while you're like you like pan over, and I'm like.
I mean, I it's good that I'm speaking on this right now, because I think this is like the big topic of today's episode, is talking about our careers and motherhood. Mm-hmm. So today we're going to be talking about mom life and balancing your career or your passions or the work overload, whatever you're juggling around right now. It's hard. Like we all know. It's me, as for myself, as like a model and a creator, it can be hard to get a lot of stuff done, especially when I'm like at home a lot with Callie, because I'm pretty much a stay-at-home parent in a sense, because I try my best to work from home when I can, when I'm not traveling for modeling. But trying to like build something from the bottom up while also being a mom is crazy. Mm-hmm. Like, even like our podcast, for example, it's hard when we have Callie here with us, or we have the babies here with us. But we've made it work, and it took us a couple years, but we're doing it.
Yeah. Consistent. We've been consistent, bro.
This is like the first time we've been actually consistent.
Yeah, in the past 3 years.
Yes, because those first couple years, oh my God, like crazy.
Yeah.
Literally crazy. And I don't know, just whether you're, you want to do something on your own, if you want to be self-employed or start your own business, or even if like you work a 9 to 5, if you're a doctor, whatever it is, I know that's also very hard because, maybe it's like you want to spend more time with your kids than you do because you're working so much, or, it can be like you're in either boat. Like for me, it's like, I'm wishing I can get more done because I have Callie a lot, but it's like, it can go hand in hand. There's like so many ways it can go. It's just hard to balance motherhood and doing what you love to do, or making your career work.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. So, for me, it's a little different because we're with Callie all the time, and I have Romeo, but I have him during his school days. So I literally see him in the morning. Then he's at school from 9 to 5:30, 6 o'clock every day. He gets home, we eat dinner, he goes to bed. And those are for the days that I have him. Now, the days that I don't have him are also the days he doesn't have school. So he's with his dad those days. And, I have stuff filling in between there. Like, I do photography, we do the podcast. I do some video work, like I'll do editing and stuff like that.
Right.
And I do feel like guilty sometimes because I'm like, I don't spend that much time with my kid. Like, I really don't. And that's the thing too, is like, I have to make sure he has a bedtime. So it's like, we can play, but it's not going to be long. And he gets sad over it. Like, especially this past week, he's been like very open about communicating that. He's like, Mommy, like, we don't play that much. I'm like, I know, buddy, but like, you have to go to bed.
Right, because you have school.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I make sure I read him a couple books every night, and we always have that. That's just like a part of our routine. And like, that really is like one of the big moments that we have together is reading books at night. But it makes me appreciate them. I'm going to cry. It makes me appreciate them more because I'm like, oh, fucking bitch. I hate it. I don't want to cry every time. I'm also getting my period like next week, so that doesn't fucking help because my titties hurt.
Oh, God.
But something I, do prioritize is like getting myself, I don't know, how am I saying this? I don't want to be where I am right now, honestly. Like, I think when you think of like a passion or career, which is like what we're both kind of doing, you're obviously like a different stage than I am because I only started doing this a couple years ago. But I think a lot of pressure that I also feel is like, what if I'm not doing the right thing by like also really prioritizing me and like what I enjoy? Because I'm like, what if it doesn't work out? And then I'm like with a child who depends on me. And I'm, like, not where I need to be in order for, like, him to live the life that, like, I want him to live. Like, because, we want our kids to have amazing lives. We want them to have more than we ever had. And I know that it's possible, but also there's always a little bit of doubt in the back of my mind that's, like, but what if it's not enough? And I think that pressure of that is, it makes me feel like maybe sometimes I'm, like, I don't want to say wasting my time by choosing me, but it feels like I'm wasting my child's life by choosing me, if that makes sense. Like, I'm, like, they're existing and they're growing in front of me, and, like, every week that I get them back, then I'm like, oh my God, you're bigger, and, like, you know more words, and you know how to communicate this better, and, like, where have I been? Like, I catch on to it, but I'm like, when did this happen, Right.
I mean, that's the case, honestly, for a lot of mothers, I feel like. Some moms are out here who have to travel, like, full-time for work, or, like, it's like, that might be the case for you one day too because of the line of work that you're going in. You might end up working with huge clients that have you traveling back to back on every week. It might get worse. The feeling might get worse, but the thing is, like, you are at that point, you'll be able to provide what you really want for him. And, I think, like, that's where it ties into, like, balance. I'm sure there are so many mothers out here who make it work the way they have to do it, no matter what. Like, it's like, I don't know. I feel like when I think about like back in the day and how mothers were supposed to just have the kids and like stay at home and literally just be a mother. I think sometimes it's like we can think about like how maybe there was a point in time that we couldn't do what we were doing right now. Like I am grateful for like the opportunities that I have right now that I'm able to take, and you know, I'm sure you're very, very grateful for what you're able to do yourself, but that's where it's like we just come into like this conflict in our mind where it's like okay, like I'm so grateful for these things in my life, for my career, for my passions, but oh man, like I feel like I'm missing out on my baby's life. You know, it's hard, and sometimes I think I've said this before, but sometimes I feel guilty for wanting to get away.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like you said, my situation's a little different. Like, I'm more involved with Callie since I'm here with her, and I, like, kind of work from home when I can when I'm not traveling. And when I do travel, I'm not away for long. Maybe gone for, like, 2 or 3 days at most. And, so when I am here a lot with her, I'm like, I need to get away. Like, I need to go out. I need to go do my stuff by myself. And I'm like, oh, that makes me feel kind of guilty. Like, I shouldn't be wanting to get away from my baby. So it's like, it can really be all over the place, you know, no matter what, like, boat you're in. Like, I think mom guilt just really eats you up all the time. And it sucks sometimes. It does. Yeah. But I think, you know, we just really have to, I guess, stay grateful for what we have and just know that, like, I don't know, at one point, like, our babies are going to be all grown up, and, you know, maybe they'll be grateful for what we did and the sacrifices we had to make at that moment in time, you know? Like, we'll figure it out. It's okay.
I think the big thing is honestly just finding balance and understanding, like, balance doesn't always seem super fair sometimes. I mean, not fair. I don't know if fair is the word, but it's like, you know, sometimes my kid is doing absolutely the most, and I'm like, bro, I have other things to do. And I feel bad, but then I'm also like, no, but I still have things to do. Right. Like, I don't know how to describe that.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean completely. Like, I was literally just, I was at the studio before this doing a photo shoot, and I was just telling Q, because he was asking me about social media and stuff, and I was like, sometimes I get just really frustrated with Callie when I'm not able to do stuff. Because he was like, oh, wait, like, you can't, like, do your stuff at home. I'm like, well, I try, but with Callie next to me, it's very hard to, like, do anything. Yeah. And I was like, I feel bad because I end up, like, yelling at her. Yeah. And getting frustrated and telling her to sit the fuck down. Yeah. If I'm being so honest, I'm like, sit your ass down and don't do anything. And she just ends up, like, crying. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, but, like, I have stuff to do because it's not going to get done any other way. Yeah. You know, it's like, at the same time, like, yeah, we feel the guilt, but we really can't, we have to try to not feel bad is what I'm trying to say. Like, they need us, yes, and we do our best to be with them and be there for them, and they're just going to have to one day, as they get older, understand that, like, you know, mommy and daddy have work to do. Yeah. You know, that's a lot of us, you know. I know growing up, my dad was a stay-at-home dad growing up in my case. And my mom went to work every day. At one point, I had to figure out that mom goes to work every day and dad stays home with us. Yeah. You know, I think that's every kid. Yeah. But I don't think we can let it. If we let it eat us alive, it's just going to, like, tear us down. Yeah, we can't do that. Yeah. We can't. We just have to keep doing what we're doing and keep building. But it can be hard because motherhood can take over. It can. Like, I always feel very consumed by it a lot. And I don't say that in, like, a bad way, like, oh, I hate it. Like, no, but, like, I feel consumed by it. Like, I can't get anything else done. Like, I kind of struggle with the balance because, like, she's 3 and she's, like, attached to my hip all the time. It's I know one day she'll be at an age where maybe she'll be, like, able to sit in her own room, like, keep her door open, like, maybe watch her TV for a little bit or play with her toys independently while maybe I'm in the other room doing what I have to do. One day there will be a time like that, and I know it. But right now, or at least for the past 3 years, it hasn't been that. Yeah. She's a baby. I can't... She has to be there, and she wants me, and she needs me. So I just really try my best to, like, do what I can do, you know? That's really all I can do. Yeah. That's it.
No, for real. Yeah. It's like, I don't know how people... I mean, I know it's more than possible, but people who have, like, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... We know our friend online, what's her name, Josie? She's about to have twins. She already has 6 kids. About to have 8 kids. One of her kids, has some type of like medical condition where like they need like all her attention. He does.
Right.
I don't know if you've seen those videos recently where she like takes care of him, but he's like nonverbal and like you don't think he'll ever walk.
I didn't see those. I saw the ones where she makes her the lunch and dinner.
Yeah, she started doing like day in the life type of things or like spend the afternoon with me, and she's like taking care of this little boy who like literally was not even supposed to live. Like, and she has a blended family, and like you know she has 6 kids already, pregnant with twins. You might have 8 kids in the house, and you know she still shows up every single day and posts videos and is on live.
Good for her.
And is doing the fucking thing, and I'm like, if you can do this, I think anyone can do this.
Anyone can do it. Yeah.
Like, honestly, I'm amazed every single time. Like, every single time she goes on the feed, I'm like, bro, you're doing this more consistently than people who don't have any kids.
If I'm being so honest,
people don't have anything going on.
Literally. I feel that way about other creators, too. Like, I think I had texted you earlier about, you know, speaking on this topic because I was inspired by this model and business owner, Iskra Lawrence. And, I've been following her since I was like 16 or 17. Mm-hmm. I think she first started as a curvy model on Instagram. And I remember when I first discovered her, I was like, oh my God, this girl is curvy like me. Like, what the hell? That's so cool. Mm-hmm. And she just looks so bomb. And I've been following her literally ever since. Saw her have her first baby. Yeah. Saw her build a business. Saw her have her second baby. Mm-hmm. So she has 2 kids now. Her newest baby is still very much a baby. And the fact that she's able to show up on Instagram every day, stories, I mean, posts, like, she's speaking on panels, but she takes her baby. She was on a fashion runway. Show on the runway with her baby in her arms. And I'm like, that is literally the definition of a hardworking mom. Right. Truly. Yeah. Because you can be both things at once. Mm-hmm. Like, I see so many mother creators on Instagram who prove to you that you can do it. Yeah. And I guess it really is like all a mindset at the end of the day. Like Josie, obviously. If she is so capable, hello, like you said, anybody can do it. Yeah. It's really a mindset. And sometimes it can be hard to pull yourself out of like that little like, I know sometimes I feel like I'm in the trenches. Like I'm just all involved in motherhood, and I feel like I don't have the motivation to do anything else right now. But sometimes I'm like, a day will come around where I have Callie with me. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to set up my camera over here and record something. And if she's crawling around, I don't care. I'm over it. I just want to get my stuff done. Yeah. And I think that mindset right there is what these other mothers really have. But it's like an everyday routine. Mm-hmm. You know, they get up and they're still present with their children. Yeah. And they do what they need to do to get their work done. Because it matters to them. Mm-hmm. And it's important. And, you know, it's about having the drive, too. Yeah. But it takes time to build that up because I know I'm not like that's not me every day. Believe me, I struggle sometimes and it can be hard. But just building that mindset up is, I think, the most important thing. Yeah, yeah, and just knowing like you can do it. Like again, it's so possible. It is that mindset. It is the ability to like accept your life. Like I see moms talking about this all the time. Like, oh, my house isn't aesthetic, or I don't have the best lighting or whatever. And it's like, girl, if you like it, if you like to do whatever it is, if you want to do some hauls, cleaning videos, your makeup, like getting ready with me, whatever you got going on, and you're like, I want to do this, but I just don't. Just do it. Yeah. That's for anything too. It doesn't have to be social media related. It could be a fucking hobby. If you like knitting, if you like to color, if you like to paint, if you like, or like if you want to go back to school, even if you want to go back to university, if you want to study something, if you all of a sudden one day decide, I want to be a nurse, or I want to be a doctor, go do it. You literally have the ability to do anything you want. Honestly, don't let motherhood stop you. It can feel very consuming sometimes, but it doesn't have to stop you from doing what you love to do. Right. And the only difference between like, you know, that version of you and this one now is like understanding that there's going to have to be adjustments. Yeah. Like you're going to have to sacrifice some of your kids' time, like some of your time in order to do this, like, and do it consistently. Like if you really, really want it, then you're going to have to do it all the time. Like, for example, with Rachel, like the beginning of her journey, like she was turned down so many times before getting signed. Mm-hmm. And still she was like, I'm just going to do it anyway, and dropped out of school. Like, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, such an inspiration. I think about it all the time because I'm like this girl did this and had nothing really behind you either. Nothing. It was just like you who made this decision to be like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do it. I just literally went for it. And I think about this sometimes because I'm like, when I'm feeling really down, I actually think about that time in my life where I'm like, wait, but I just went and did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because don't get me wrong, I still get turned down. Till this day. There are still things that I get turned down for.
Mm-hmm.
There are still people that maybe I'm not their cup of tea. That's fine. I don't have to be. But I'm just going to go do my thing anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to like me. You can turn me down all you want. I'm still going to do my thing.
Right.
And I'm a mama at the same time.
Yeah. Just gotta be willing to, like, just accept things as they come. And whether that's rejection, redirection, or acceptance, whatever it is, and running with it. Yeah. Learning from it, being able to be like, okay, well, that doesn't work, so I'm just gonna try a different way of doing it. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, I guess that's just not the way of doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think and everybody's journey is like similar and different in some ways too. Like I think everybody has their own way of doing the things that they want to do. Mm-hmm. Like it's not going to be the same for everybody. Everybody has a different path, but also it's similar in some ways, but it is going to be different. Yeah. And it's like I think about like I don't know. Every model's journey is different. Every videographer's journey is different. Like, things will fall into place for different people at different times. Not everybody's timeline is the same exact thing. Like, you might be on a journey where you see other people getting things that you want, but you don't have them yet. And that might make you feel defeated. And you might compare yourself. But you can't do that because you're not on their timeline. Yeah. You're going to get what you want. You just have to keep the drive up and just keep working for what you want, honestly. Like, just keep pushing for it because it'll come to you. If it's meant for you, it will literally happen for you. Yeah. Literally. And I preach that all the time.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think when we talk about, like, I guess in the beginning we mentioned, like, workflow and motherhood. Mm-hmm. I think when it comes to women deciding whether or not they want to, like, do the work for themselves or for somebody else or whatever, I think where you kind of like butt heads with that version of you and like the version of you that's just kind of like stuck in where you are is because like, well, I don't know what that looks like, right? Or I don't know how to do that. Like there's a lot of women out here talking about how they don't have that community, how they don't have that support in ways where someone can watch your kid while you can go do this and that. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just all about figuring it out, and it just seems like it's unfair sometimes because
and it seems a little harsh, but that's really what it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like finding someone to take care of your kid or working those insane hours that you don't want to but it's the only time that like someone can watch your kid, right. Like while they sleep basically or whatever. Like it is about just kind of discovering what you need, discovering what works best, like discovering everything along the way.
Yeah. And also, like maybe you might not have a community, but I'm sure there are people out there in the world that are willing to become that for you at some point in time. Because this just reminds me, I don't know if you remember this, but I remember seeing on Ellen a very long time ago.
Okay.
You're like, where is this going?
I know.
I remember seeing on Ellen a very long time ago, it was this college student. She had a baby. She was probably like 18 or 19 and she ended up having a baby. And she had to go to class one day and it was like very important class that she had to go to that day. And she had emailed her professor, I can't come in today. I have my son. He's with me. And the professor literally was like, bring him. And so she brought her baby and the pictures and the videos went viral. It was him holding the baby up there giving his lecture to the students, and he's just walking around with the baby in his arms, and she's able to do what she has to do. And that's what I mean by, people will come into your life that actually, not everybody's a bad person in the world, People will come into your life that will actually give you the love and support that you need, and your child even too. I know it's scary to even think about it, especially if you're not used to having a community or people to help you. Yeah. But there are people in the world who will, that are willing to do that, who are still kind souls. Yeah. And that just reminds me of that because, you're right, not every mother has somebody to watch their kid all the time or some mothers have to work these crazy hours just to, keep up with their children financially and, maybe they have to put their children into daycare. I've even seen some women, they have like overnight daycares. I didn't know there was overnight daycares.
I didn't know that either.
Right. I just discovered that. Like you can drop your baby off at like 9:00 p.m. and then pick them up like in the morning. What? Yeah. But for some people that has to happen.
Yeah.
crazy, but it has to.
Yeah.
Like, because how else? And it's like, sometimes, if I'm being so honest, the world can be so harsh because it's like so many mothers would just honestly be very content just being a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
There are a lot of moms out there, and there are a lot of moms who are stay-at-home moms, and their husbands support them or whatever the case may be. That's great. That's perfectly fine. If that's really what you love to do, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want to be a stay-at-home mom and just raise your babies, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Do that. I literally have no hate towards that at all. Like, I love going on TikTok and seeing the little, like, stay-at-home mom, like, day in the life.
Day in the life.
I fucking
like,
love
spend
that.
the morning with us.
Literally, and they're just, like, cleaning the house and, like, baking, and, like, I'm like, love that for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, literally whatever the case may be, like, just do it, you know? Like, and like I said, it may seem harsh, and like you were saying, but figuring it out is really what has to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm still figuring things out. You're still figuring things out.
I think everyone is. I don't think we ever stop figuring things out.
It stresses me out sometimes.
No, literally. And that's why I also, when I'm in those places of feeling like so much of that, I have to remind myself, I'm like, I actually will never have it figured out. And like, in a weird way, that kind of gives me some type of relief.
Like a little piece.
Yeah, that I'm just like, I'm just doing my best. And my best is different every single day. I posted something on my story the other day of like, it was like glasses lined up. And it's like what consistency, what people think it looks like. And it's like, they're all full. But actually, it was like, this one was full. This one was like all the way down here. The next one was like halfway filled up. The next day it was like full. You know what I mean?
That's
like
what consistency actually looks like.
Yeah, like it's just showing up as the best version of you every single day and being like, whatever that is, that's enough.
Right. Because not every day is going to be the same ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
You have things that go on in your life. You're a human being who's experiencing life for the first time. We always say that. And we haven't said this in a while, but you have to give yourself grace in that. Yes. Because it's not easy out here. There's no handbook on this shit. Like, you literally have to figure it out. That's the only way that you're gonna get to whatever it is that you want and desire in your life.
Right. Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah, that's really what it is. I don't know. And I think, you know, as stressful and, like, overwhelming that it can be sometimes, really just taking a step back, taking a breather, reminding yourself that maybe, like, you're not the only one going through what you're going through. Everybody's trying to make things work out. Not everybody's in a position financially or mentally, or everybody's in different areas of their life all the time. Nobody's sitting in the same place. So just making your life work out for you every day, however that may look like, that's just the most important thing you can do. And that's it.
We are more than capable and enough to do the things that we desire. I think when you become a mom, or I see a lot of when people become mothers, they're like, well, I'm just a mom. Like, no, girl, like, before you were a mom, you were just a human being, and you're still a human being who has things in their life that need more love and need more attention. And like, just because you're a mom doesn't mean that you can't do it.
Right.
Like, I was gonna say, like, imposter syndrome, like, that feeling, I feel that too, bro. All the time. I see people who are doing what I want to do, and I'm like, I don't know that I'm as good as them. Like, you know, like, when I get hired or like someone wants to work with me, I'm like, you really want to choose me, like, out of everybody? Yeah. And like, I'll go to because I'm a photographer and videographer, I'll go to shoots, and I'm like anxious the whole time. Like, people have been like, come to me and be like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm so in my head right now because someone's trusting me to take pictures.
Take the responsibility of creating this vision.
Yes.
Right.
I'm responsible. Yeah. And I'm like, and because I'm so new to this and I'm still, again, discovering myself and like my style and like what works for me and everything like that. Yeah. That like, I get that imposter syndrome, and like, I get that when like I have to post on social media because I'm like, no one's gonna know this if I don't post, but also I'm like, I don't want anyone to be like, that's ass, because I'm like, but I thought it was good, or like, I worked hard for this, or it was planned out, or whatever, and I'm like, I get in my head about it because I guess it's that outside noise, or what I think is that outside noise, the voices that I'm hearing in my head. Right. Yeah. Being like, well, you're not good enough, or like, you're not gonna get to where you want because like, it's not where you need to be, or whatever. Exactly. I'm like, that's not true though. Like, girl, like, you're like fighting with yourself. No, literally, that's I'm not like, true, bitch. Shut the fuck up. I like get on the other side. I'm like no, but like for real, like, that's just ass. No, it's not, bitch. Shut up.
No, that ass. That's how it be. In my head, that's what I see.
No, literally, there's two me. One of them. Like,
it's almost like the devil on one shoulder. And
no,
the angel
literally.
on the other. Yeah, and I think that's also true, and just overthinking our talents can be a big thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel the same way too. Sometimes I'm like the thing with like being on L'Oreal and like Ulta. I'm like, that's not me. So I'm like,
who is she?
I did that. Like, that's like weird.
Right.
I'm like, really? And I don't know. Like, it's like I have so much gratitude at the same time, but then I'm like, I critique myself so much too. I really do. Like, work will come out, and I'm just like, oh, I shouldn't have done that with my face.
Yeah.
Like, I do it all the time, but it's just my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I can't help it. Like, it literally just happens, and I've literally been doing that since I was like a little girl too.
Yeah.
Like, it's just something that maybe it's just that little insecure little thing in our head that just tries to talk us down. And I think, we just really just have to like try to block it out the best we can and just keep doing what we're doing and really express ourselves, because I honestly think like every creative person, or you don't even have to be a creative, like every person like who's in whatever line of work, like might just have like a little devil on their shoulder trying to be like, no, that's not good what you're doing. Like that, I don't like that. Like that's ugly. Yeah. That's ass.
Right.
But it's really not. And it's literally just some weird part of our brain, like telling us some intrusive thoughts, and everybody does that, honestly. Yeah. It's just a normal human thing, which kind of sucks, because why does that happen?
Yeah.
Why do we do that?
I hate it so much. I almost imagine like the Inside Out movie where like there is the little panel up there with all my little emotions just like deciding how I react or how I go through like a situation.
Little anxieties like in the corner.
Yeah, like there's like 5 of them. When I'm really, literally, when I'm going through it, bro, there's like 100 of them, and they're all like doing the kumbaya dance or some shit. Like they're just dancing around. I'm like, what's happening? What's going on? No, Shut up.
Mine is like, you ever seen the SpongeBob episode where like he like went in his brain, he was like burning all the file cabinets? That's me. And SpongeBob's like running around crazy. There's like 100 of them.
Literally.
Yeah, it can just be so crazy. Like our brains, the way our brains work is just so weird. Especially after, I keep doing that, I'm sorry. Especially after having a baby, because like our emotions are all out of whack. Our hormones are all out of whack. Like we don't even know who we are anymore sometimes. And mind you, imagine going from like a passion or something that you love to do, and then you have a baby, and then you're like, oh, like what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Like, that can be a hard time too.
Yeah.
And I struggle with that, I know for sure. Like getting back into modeling after having Callie, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna hate me. Yeah. I was like, they are gonna think I'm hit. Mm-hmm. Like that's literally what I would think to myself. I'm like, I don't know who I'm looking at right now in the mirror, but this is not Rachel. Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, like I still struggle with that sometimes, because first I don't know, I guess it's just like a body image thing. Like I have like body dysmorphia really bad, and I'll look in the mirror and I see something that's not there, I guess. And it's so weird. And it can fuck with me. And I think it ties into the whole imposter syndrome thing, because I'm like, oh, like why there's so many other models out there who look so much better than me. Like, and I know it's so harsh to say, like just talking on like looks in general, but like when it comes to modeling, that is really what it is. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like it is. And, of course, like personality ties into it, and like you want to be a good person, and you want to like support your community and like do a bunch of other things as a model. Like that's a great thing to do. But looks is really what it is. So after having a baby, I was kind of worried about my own looks. And, and also like I've just been like, I just feel like I've lived in so many different body types over the past like 6 years. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard with somebody who, it's hard if like with my body fluctuates and just your body changes going into womanhood too. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't realize how much like turning I'm gonna be 27 this year. I'm like seeing small changes in my face. I found my first varicose vein on my leg, and I'm losing it. I'm not even like, my mom it's hereditary, which I'm really sad about. You know what they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where like the veins like pop out and you're like, my mom had them. My mom's mom. My mom had them all over her legs, literally all over her feet, just popping out everywhere, blue and purple everywhere. My mom has them all over her legs. It's right here, literally right here on my thigh. I looked down one day when I was on the toilet, and I was like, oh no. I was like, no, like there has to be a way. I have to stop this. There's no way I'm gonna be doing that shit. I can't do it. And I guess just like aging in general can be a little scary. I don't know. I see more lines on my face now. My smile lines are getting deeper and deeper literally every year. No, I think we have literally the same. Yeah. Like, they just keep getting deeper and deeper. I
love mine, though. I'm not going to lie to you.
And our little crow's feet.
The ones on the side of my eyes are crazy.
No, bro. The pictures Q took of me today, I can't be smiling. I was like, what is that? Like, why do I have crow's feet? That's crazy. But it means I smile a lot. Yeah. Which is cool. And also, these mean I smile a lot. Cool. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's kind of cool. But, yeah, I don't know. Just really give yourself grace with everything. Like, it can be so all over the place and so messy sometimes, but you just gotta just breathe. Just breathe through it. That's
all you can do. Otherwise, you're just stressing yourself out. Yeah. You're overthinking everything. And it's like, just to believe that, like, not only are you working for, like, what you desire in life and, like, to the point of, like, feeling better, I guess, but, like, so is the universe. That shit's on your side always. Like, you're talking about before, like, whatever's meant for you will always find you. Sometimes that shit is literally not gonna leave you the fuck alone. It's gonna keep coming up persistently in your life. And then when you don't listen, it's gonna throw you a fucking curveball that's gonna make you be like, what the fuck? Like, actually, what the fuck? Yeah. And it's just trying to get you to think in a way, like, change that mindset, like, change your perspective of, like, what you're looking at. Because I saw this thing, too, and it's about God. I don't know if people are religious or what, but it was like, imagine you're walking down a path, and there was a brick wall that went as far as the eye could see, and you literally have no way of going over it. And you're, like, asking God, like, I don't know how to get through this. Like, I need your help. And a storm starts. Like, it starts pouring, thunderstorm, tornadoes, all that shit. So you go find shelter, and you're just trying to get through the storm, and you're, like, literally like, God, like, what is happening right now? Like, what is like, what's going on? The storm clears, and you go back on that path, and that wall is completely knocked down. Because while you were weathering this storm, while you were trying to get through this storm, like, why is this happening right now? Like, what's going on? It was clearing your path. Right. So it's like, and I don't even know if that even relates to this at all, but... Amen! But no, literally, that's what I typed in the comment when I saw this guy talk about it. I don't know where it is, but I was like, that is so fucking true.
That's beautiful. That is so true.
And you just have to trust, like, that is what's always happening in your life. Every time you're like, what is going on? Yeah. Just breathe for a second. Like, just watch. Like, trust the process type shit. Like, trust and believe that, like, you're gonna be fine. Like, you have to weather this storm. You have to go through this change. Like, we've talked about it so many times before. And that can be in any part of your life, and whether it's career-wise or emotionally or, you know, mentally or physically or motherhood-wise, like, understand that, like, it is all in your favor. You just gotta ease up. Like, you can't just be hovering the whole time. Like, why? Like, what's happening? What's going on? Like, why is this happening? Like, no, like, just watch, you know? Things take time. Like, you know, like, cooking, like, you know, you gotta wait. Like, doing anything, like, learning anything, you have to wait. You're not gonna know everything right away.
Speaking of cooking, don't they say that one saying, it's like, something about the pot and boiling water. What do they say? Fuck. It's like the pot will never boil if you're watching it or something. Something like that.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
I know!
Yeah, but, like, I don't know.
It doesn't go...
but I know exactly what you mean, and I know the point you're getting across.
Right, that's not the phrase, but it's like that almost. Yeah. Like, you just gotta, like, trust that it's going to happen. But, like, if you're, like, really trying to, like, I guess focus too hard, you're gonna, like, just, like, trip yourself out a little bit.
Drive yourself a little crazy.
Drive yourself a little crazy. Like, is this pot gonna boil or what? Like, how long is this gonna take? No, literally, how long is this going to take? But just trust, it's gonna boil. Right. It's gonna happen.
It's like the same thing with the seasons. You know, we're going through the winter, the end of winter right now. You know, winter seems like it's such a long part. Such a long part of the year. I'm like, bro, is it gonna be warm? And once you, like, get that little warmth, that little breeze in the air, literally, the sun shining type shit, and, like, you smell the pollen, and then, like,
Yeah.
the trees start to get their leaves, and the flowers start to bloom, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's back.
That was me the other day when it was like 60 degrees outside. I was in my car, put all the windows down. My music was blasting.
Blasting.
I was like,
bang, bang, bang. Like, just fucking vibrating. Like, the stuff's in the back, like...
work. That's me. Rihanna playing.
That was us today with Hannah Montana.
Oh, I love that.
I was literally just listening to If We Were.
Yeah.
You'd be the right guy. That's my
We
shit.
were listening on repeat in the car.
No,
earlier
literally.
While we were grabbing something, which reminds me, now that everybody's gone, I can give you this. I just knew
put it
it
in the
wasn't gonna make
freezer.
it.
What is that?
I got you a dark chocolate Dubai chocolate bar.
No! Oh! I'm so excited.
I was like, I have to give this to her when nobody is around.
Oh, I
because
love
they're
you guys.
They're gonna eat it.
Oh! Yes. Because they had me try it. What was that? Last time I saw you guys at the studio, and it was milk chocolate. Then I said how I like dark chocolate.
I still have the rest of mine from that, and I literally went and got my mom one too. She was like, get me a small one, and I was like, I'm gonna get a big one because I know all of y'all motherfuckers are gonna be tearing that shit up. It's like 5 of them. I'm like, hello.
This will be mine. Thank you. Thank you. That's so nice. I'm so excited. I guess like knowing that you're not always gonna feel bad, I guess, you know? You're gonna feel good. There's gonna be times when you're actually genuinely happy.
Yeah.
I love that feeling. I love when I feel like I'm genuinely happy. Like, I
Yeah.
catch myself in the moment, and I'm like, I'm actually really happy right now.
Yeah.
Like, I love that because I know I've seen my dark times. I've seen myself at my worst. We've all seen ourselves at our worst. Like, it can get bad out here, but just know, like, it's not always gonna be like that ever.
Yeah.
Like, you're allowed to be happy.
Yeah.
And you should be, and you should work to do the stuff that makes you happy.
No, literally.
Yeah.
It's like just also knowing that, like, that's a part of your just life. Like, feeling certain ways about certain things, or like, you know, wanting to do the thing that you like really want to do, and then like feeling bad about it. Like, yeah, you might feel bad, but you also like might really love doing what you're doing.
Right.
And like chasing that dream, or chasing that job, or going to school, or whatever it is that you want to do, starting a hobby, doing social media seriously, like
starting your own business.
Yes, like that might make you really happy. And like, yes, you also still might feel a little bit of that guilt, or a little bit of that, like, I don't know what that is. When you like like it's not restriction, or you feel like a little restricted. Yeah. But like, don't let that be the thing that gets in the way, because this is your life. Like, and that is something that I've said multiple times in multiple episodes, is that like, this is still your life. Like, no matter if you are a parent or not, like, you deserve to get what you want. Like, you really do. Like, it's not in your head for no reason. You're not thinking about it every day for no reason. It's not driving you insane for no reason. It's like, yo, when are you gonna like give me some attention?
Right. Yeah. And motherhood isn't supposed to stop you from any of that.
No.
At all. Just know that. Just know that being a mom doesn't mean that your life is over. It doesn't mean that your passions have to stop. It doesn't mean that, you know, the work you do has to stop. You can still do everything you need to do to tend to yourself and make yourself happy, and motherhood can be there as well. Like, it can be a balance.
Yeah,
it can.
And it might look a little different than the people that like you see doing what you desire, because like they do live a different lifestyle. Everyone doesn't live the same. Literally. Like, just because like they're not a parent doesn't mean that like you can't do it because you are.
Literally. Can I just say, it's like, think about celebrities. Think about the Kardashians. All of their kids have nannies, okay? I have to be so honest. Being in that position, these women are traveling every week. They all have nannies.
Their own nannies.
Their own.
For each of them.
Literally.
One for each.
And when I tell you, it's like, yeah, they have nannies, but these women still come back to their kids, and they're able to spend some time with them. I see, you know, one of my idols, Ashley Graham. She has one boy and then a set of twins, all boys. And she travels all the time. So does her husband. Her husband's a photographer and videographer. And they're away a lot. And she always comes back to her babies. Yeah. And I see that. And, you know, it's inspiration to me, because I'm like, they must feel some mom guilt too, but they're getting the stuff done that they need to get done. They're still doing everything they have to do. They're running their businesses. They're filming a TV show. They're going to fashion shows across the globe.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing pop-up shops, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Literally everything in the world to stick to their brand because they want to make bank.
Right.
If I'm being honest.
And they chose that shit.
Because they love to do it. It's their passion. Literally.
Yeah.
And I love that for them. I really do. And, you know, people might be like, oh my God, like, I can't believe they, like, I feel like it's just so much back talk. Like, I've seen people be like, oh, they have nannies. Like these, they should be home with their children. Like, no, they're chasing that money, okay?
Yeah.
They're chasing a dream.
Right.
And they've been doing this shit for a while now. And I think it's like these babies are fed, they're in bed, they're in beautiful homes, they go to school every day, they're being so well taken care of because their mothers work their ass off.
Yeah. And
I think that's the beautiful part of it.
Yeah.
You just gotta work your ass off for that shit.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they feel guilty. We feel guilty. Every mom will feel mom guilt. Every mom will feel mom guilt. It's just inevitable. Yeah. You're gonna feel it. Because it's your baby. It's this little thing that came from you. Yeah. So you just have to hold that feeling. Know you're always going to come back to your babies. Tell your babies you're always going to come back to them. And I've been telling Callie that recently now. Every time I leave to go somewhere, I say, Mommy always comes back. Mm-hmm. I say that every time. I'm going to cry. Oh. I literally always tell her, Mommy always comes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to cry. I say, Mommy always comes back. Mommy will always come back. And I make that promise because that's, like, no matter if I have to go away from her, like, no matter where I am, I always come back. Oh. And I mean that. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm making me cry. I'm kind of the same way. Like, you know, last week with Romeo leaving again his dad's house. Yeah. He's throwing a fucking fit, bro. And he's, like, throwing things, kicking things, screaming at the top of his lungs. And we're finally getting him in the car. And he was like, Daddy, I don't want to leave you. And we're just like, well, Romeo, you always come back here. Like, every Thursday, you're always back in this house. Right. Mm-hmm. Every Sunday, you go back with Mommy. Like, you get to be with both. Mm. Like, isn't that nice? Right. He was like, yeah. Like, again, like, that honestly is a great reminder to your child. Like, you're never going to leave them. Mm-hmm. You might have to temporarily, but that doesn't mean forever. Right. I'm still gonna love you from 2 feet away or 2,000 miles away. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still gonna love you. You're still my baby. Yeah. And, you know, that's just something they have to learn. And you know, that communication is very important. Like, letting your child know that, like, hey, like, I have to do this.
Communicating to your kids that Mommy has work to do and Mommy has her passions and Mommy has stuff that she loves to do. And you could even be like, one day you will have stuff that you love to do too. Yeah. You know, I think communicating to them in a way that they understand at that point in their life, you know, like, my baby's 3, Romeo's 4, and you know, at every stage in their life, just telling them that, like, Mommy has to go do the stuff that she loves to do, but then I'm going to come back to you. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and I think over time they'll get it. Every like I said earlier, every kid does. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'll be at home and Romeo will see my laptop open. Mm-hmm. He's like, Mommy, are you editing? Everybody says editing. Editing. I'm like, yeah, I am. He's like, what is that? Mm-hmm. I'm like, it'll be like the podcast, or I'm like, oh, look, it's Widow, like, you know, whatever. Yeah. And, like, he's definitely caught on to it. He loves to watch Ryan, that little boy, like, do, like, how he used to do, like, the toy reviews and stuff like that. Yeah. He told me he wants to do that.
Really?
Yeah. So my thoughts is, like, you know, also doing something for him, which also involves some stuff that I love, which is, like, you know, videotaping that stuff, is going to start like every week or so, like, doing, like, one of those, like, science projects that they have at, like, the Five Below. Yes. Or whatever. And just, like, you know, they have a bunch of stuff in the back of the store. $5, like, or $5.50 or whatever it is. Right. I'm more than willing to do that, just to do, like, something that he loves to do. Like, and he'll do that with me. And, like, you know, I don't know that Keith will do it at his house. So, like, he'll know, like, at my house, like, we do a little science project every week. And we record it and we post it online. Because, like, he loves watching stuff like that. He loves watching people play with toys. And, like,
Callie's the
you
same
know, stuff,
way.
like, stuff like that. And, you know, I think a big part of it is also, like, your child seeing you, like, go after what you desire. Like, that is a beautiful thing to see, like, as a child. Like, your parent, the person that's raising you, like, still choosing them at the end of the day. Like, yes, they choose you and they show up for you and they cook you dinner and they put you to bed every night and they read you books or like they play with you, whatever. But that person's also like this amazing person that's doing so many things for themselves as well. Yeah. And that is really huge for a kid to see. You know, like, no kid wants to see their mom at home all the time, like, you know, judging herself in the mirror or like talking down on herself or being like, oh, like, I can never do that, or you know, because I personally have seen that, you know, growing up with like my mom. I always felt really bad because she like would compare herself to other people and like see other stuff and being like, oh, I wish. I'm like, but why not?
Right. Same with my mom, honestly.
Yeah. And like, it makes me sad because I'm like, but this is your life. And, you know, like, I think our parents really prioritize, like, us as their kids and, like, made that a huge part of their life. But, like, at the end of the day, girl, you're one of the girls. Like, you're a girl, too. Like, you had dreams. Like, you had things that you wanted to do. Like, why didn't you do them? Like, yes, I appreciate everything that you did choosing me, but, like, I'm grown now. Right. And, like, don't you still have those things in the back of your mind? Like, that's what I think about, like, a lot now. And even as I'm only in, like, the, you know, 26 years old, I'm like, but the little version of me had endless possibilities and, like, endless
Anything
dreams.
was possible.
Literally. Yeah. And, you know, our kids are the same way, you know? So, them seeing their parent, an older person who has their stuff figured out, we don't, but to them we do. Right. Seeing us, like, really commit to those things and commit to ourselves, like, isn't that only building up someone else who in the future is going to do the same thing for themselves? Like, you also have to think about your kid and, like, the impact that you have on them on, like, your image, what they see you as, because I hate to see moms, like, you know, the stay-at-home moms or whoever, like, be at home online and, like, talking about, like, I feel like I don't know myself and I don't know what I like, and, you know, and I feel bad because I get it. I understand motherhood, again, is super consuming, but also it's like, I need you to step up a little bit more for yourself, like, speak up for yourself, like, really, like, step into whatever it is that you desire, and or at least try. You don't know what it takes to do what you want to do, so you're gonna have to put some type of effort towards that and, like, figure it out as you go. Like, be where your feet are, but also don't be afraid to put that right foot out, like, put that left foot out, like, trust that, like, you're still gonna be standing, like, you're gonna be okay. You might fall down, but that's perfectly fine because you're more than capable of getting back up.
Yeah, I'm gonna clap to that. That was great. No, because it's so true. Like so many moms can feel so defeated in motherhood and just pursuing their passions or just taking that little risk, that leap into doing the thing that you love to do. It can be scary. It can be very scary, and I feel like just a lot of us are just a little bit afraid of taking that next step, and I feel like maybe when you put it into this perspective of, I want to show my child that I was capable of still doing this thing for myself, and maybe one day inspire them to do something for themselves, something that they love to do. I think that's a good way to look into it too, you know, like maybe if it scares you to think about it, like, just, you know, thinking about you, put your kid in your shoes a little bit, you know, like teach them one day you can do anything that you want to do, because I took that step, I took that leap, and sometimes, like, it can be risky, and you just literally have to go for it. Like, bringing back, you know, my old story that you said earlier, like, I just dropped out of school one day. I was really scared. Like, I literally didn't know what I was going to do with myself. And I just decided to do something. Like, I literally just decided to do it. And now it's 5 years later and I'm doing the thing that I wanted to do. And, you know, it can take a lot of time, and it can be all over the place, because that's really what true consistency is. It's going to be up and down and all over the place. And, you know, having a kid by your side through all of that, honestly, just shows how much stronger you are as a person. It takes a lot of strength to pursue your passions and take the risks to do that, or you know, whatever it is that you have to do with a kid on your hip, like with a baby on your hip. That's That's a lot of hard work.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And I think you should be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
If you are doing that. Because, you know, honestly, we're like superhumans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff's already hard as someone who doesn't have kids.
That's
you know
what
what I
I'm
mean?
saying.
Like, it's
Exactly.
difficult for people in general to just do and chase something or go after something. Like,
right. People are afraid.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because it is scary because you've never done it before. You don't know what that looks like. You don't know what that involves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what it really takes to be the person and do the things that you really want to do. Because you've never done it. You've never seen it firsthand. You never lived through that shit. And that's why it's scary, because it's like, well, what if, like, what does this look like? Like, you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
And you, like, won't know if you don't, like, just do it.
Yeah.
And that's so much harder said than done, to be honest. Because even people who do it, like, do it. Like, you know, like, again, like, photography, like, I'm going to keep bringing it up because that's what I do. But it doesn't have to pertain to you in this way. But I want to work with big brands. I want to be in, like, advertisement. I want to get into stuff like that. I really want to, like, you know, hit that money shit. Like, I'm trying to get to the money. And there are days that I'm like, I actually don't think this is for me. Like, and there's nothing even really showing that. It's just more like me thinking in my head. I'm like, they're just not, like, they're gonna see my work or they're gonna see what I do and be like, oh, this girl, like, isn't what we thought that she was. Like, sometimes when I make really good stuff, that's another thing too, I'll do something really good, I'm like, I don't know that I can do better than this. And then I do.
Yeah. And then
I'm like, I overthought that the entire time. Like, I'm over here telling me, like, this is not for me, when in fact, time and time again, I've been brought back to the same place because it was like, no, girl, you need to sit the fuck down and relax and, like, realize, like, you're good. Like, you just have to keep doing it. That's the only thing, is you have to keep doing it. If you stop, like, in the midst of your journey, like, you just don't know. You won't know what that looks like to, like, actually, what was that? What we said before, it was like the fruit of tomorrow, something like that. You won't be able to, like, bear the fruit of the tree that you planted.
Yeah.
I guess.
I think that's what it is.
Like, you won't be able to see, like, that sweet goodness. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like you were saying about that, I think it's so true how maybe you find yourself in time and time again at a low place in your life, but then something will bring you back and remind you, oh no, like, I've been here before. I can get out of here. You know, like, I think that happens a lot to us. Like, we'll get to our high points and we'll get to our low points, but when we're at our low points, it can feel like the lowest of lows. Like, it can feel like you can't dig yourself out of that hole sometimes, but if you think about it, you did before.
Yeah.
And before that. And before that.
Yeah.
You already did it. It's just something about being at a low point can kind of make you feel like, at least I know for me, it can make me feel like I can't, like, get out of it. But then I'm like, but I did before. Like, and sometimes it's been worse. Like, so I have to, like, just remind myself of that. Like, I can pull myself through because I've done it before. Yeah. Literally. Time and time again. I can always do it again.
You have to trust yourself.
Yes. Literally just trust yourself and listen to yourself and be with yourself and just feel it.
Yes,
just
and you can always step back too.
Right.
Know?
No, yeah, that's
you
a
don't
big
have
thing.
to let something consume you.
You don't have to be go all the time. You can take a step back.
Yeah, like, breaks are necessary.
Right.
A little snacky break in the middle of the day. Like, everyone loves a little snack time. You know?
A little outside time in the sun.
Yeah, like,
just lay there.
Just get some breeze blowing through your hair.
Literally.
Like...
that reminds me, I used to, like, when the weather would get, like, really nice, I used to go out my yard, literally just lay down in the middle of my backyard and just be in the sun. Yeah. And it feels so good. You're just, like, breathing in the fresh air.
You're listening to the birds.
No, literally,
and, like,
the winds and everything.
Trees
the trees
are, like...
I've done that so many times, and I feel like it, like, brings me back, like, it grounds me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, like, everything's okay. Everything's fine. I'm good. You know, like, just little moments like that. It's okay to take your breaks. It's okay to take a little time away. Like, we're all human. I think all humans need to do that to function, if I'm being so honest. Because if you just pile on the work and the work and the work and, like, that on top of, like, motherhood at the same time, you're gonna stress yourself out. You're gonna be overwhelmed. You're gonna burn yourself out. And I literally just reminds me, I saw this TikTok the other day, maybe it was yesterday, and it was this woman who popped up on my feed, and she had, like, a heart monitor on her chest, and she was saying how she was like, I didn't expect to be here. She's like pointing to the heart monitor and she's saying, I work out all the time. I eat very well. I'm in great shape. But my stress did this to me. And it can be like stress from work. It can be stress from like just thinking. Like, and maybe like physically, like not even like physically, like you're like bearing weights. I'm talking about physically as in like you're on the go. Like you're like nonstop. Like you don't sit down and give yourself an actual break. You got to think about like, you know, it's like your mental health. Yes, but your mental health will affect your physical health. Yeah. That's a huge thing. And I've experienced that in my past, that my mental health has affected my physical health. Like, it can be bad. And, you know, we have to think about that. Like, when we're feeling like, if you're ever feeling like very low in your life, you're feeling like there's just too much, you're feeling too stressed out about your life and what you want for yourself. Remember, don't stress yourself out too much because it can really get to you. Yeah. You don't want to do that to yourself. So just remember it's okay to take a break. It's okay to take a step back.
So true.
So true.
True that, bestie. Oh, I don't have any more drinks.
I know, I literally have a sip left.
Look, where's mine at? Look, look.
Oh,
I don't have any.
Right? I'm like...
These were that good, we finished the whole thing.
Before we're done.
Right?
Next time we know 3 each.
No, deadass. 3 each. I'm gonna get a pack next time.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Right, I'm like, I have one over here, like, looking at the...
Love that.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. We really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know we did. I think this was a really good one. I think we had some really good... you know, conversations about working and motherhood and pursuing your passions and balancing your mom life and career. It's, you know, it can all be a lot, but I think you're fully capable of it if you really put your mind to it.
Yeah, you can definitely do it.
Yeah.
Si se puede. That's another thing. Affirmations. Tell yourself that shit. Because who else is going to do it?
Right. Literally. I started doing affirmations with Callie, actually.
Oh, I love it.
I do them every night before she goes to bed. We're in the bed and we go off and I always go, say, I'm beautiful. And she goes, I'm beautiful. And I say, I'm smart. She goes, I'm smart. And then I go, say, I'm kind. She goes, I'm kind. Every time. She has to say it like that. It's so cute. And then at the end I say, I'm amazing. And she says, and I say, I can do anything. She goes, I can do anything. Like, right. And it's become a regular thing every night now. Or like when we're in the mirror and she's brushing her teeth. Or like after we're getting cleaned up, like I have her say it. And it just reminds me, I'm like, you know, I didn't have anybody teach me about affirmations when I was a kid. Yeah. And I'm like really passing this down. Like one day maybe she'll be like telling her kids, my mom did affirmations with me when I was little and I want to do it with you guys, you know?
You're more than capable. Again, so capable. Do your research if necessary. You know, do what you got to do to like inform yourself a little bit more and then don't just do it. Just show up.
Just do it with a Nike sign.
Right. Another sponsor, that'd be crazy.
Right. Imagine next time we have like forces on and we're like this.
We're like, so
with our Ollipops, we're like,
right.
I'm
just
crying.
the whole time like this.
That's gonna be us one day, literally.
I think that's good. Okay, guys. Again, thank you so much. Be sure to follow us, subscribe to this channel. Yes. I don't think we ever say that. Subscribe to this channel. We always say it at the end too. I wish we would start saying in the beginning. Next time we'll start doing that. Yeah. But yeah, subscribe to this channel whether you're listening on Apple Music. I'm gonna say Apple Music. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. It's on everything. Amazon Music, I think it's on there. We're on every platform for podcasts, so you can find us on there and please subscribe. Also YouTube, we just reached 100 subscribers, which is so nice. Yes. And then our social medias are growing beautifully and we love to see it. We love y'all so much. Yes, follow us at A Young MILF Podcast on TikTok, Instagram, Lemon8, yes, Threads. I don't know what else we have. Do we have anything else? I don't know.
We don't have Twitter yet. I don't think, do we?
I don't know, but I don't know if I said YouTube. I think I did say YouTube. I'm saying it again because we forgot it last time.
You can find us everywhere at A Young MILF Podcast. I know maybe we might not pop up on TikTok, but you'll find us.
We'll be there.
Yes, because TikTok, for whatever reason.
I don't know, but we're showing up in people's feeds, so
right, exactly. That matters the most. Yes. So whatever.
And interact with those things. You know, leave a review, a little 5 stars. That'd be nice. I can always like a little 5-star moment. A little something. Just a little something. It don't have to be something. Wait, too much?
No.
I'm not asking for too much of your time. 10 seconds, write 5 words. I don't know. I love these bitches.
I love these MILFs.
I love these bitches. Wait. Oh, it needs to be more.
I love
These hot ass bitches.
Yes.
That one.
Exactly. That's the one. Drop that comment,
please.
Okay? We love you guys so much.
Start flipping my hair. It's a ponytail.
I don't know what you were doing at the corner of my eye.
this.
Oh. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Rachel Anastacia.
And I am on Instagram at Johnny Netties, and my TikTok is at Your Fave Hot MILF.
Mm-hmm.
Because you feel me.
Oh,
yes.
We love you guys so much. Thank you for everything.
Episode 25.
Episode 25.
Let's
wow.
get it. Love that for us. Consistency.
Yes.
You're singing real time.
Real time.
Real shit.
Mm-hmm.
We love you guys.
Mwah. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. I need more Olipop. Please.
Right, bro. Like, that shit was good.
I'll be the best.